welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we are going to be talking about everything that happened last night on NXT. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's get right into this opening segment with Stephanie Vaquer. So our double champ, Stephanie Vaquer, came out alongside Ava, our general manager, and Ava was, praising Stephanie, congratulating her on all that she's been able to do. But then she started talking about how the NXT women's locker room is very packed, and she believes that both titles should get defended frequently. And obviously, when only one person is holding two titles, it's very hard to do that without completely burning them out and ending their career. It's very difficult to do. So she said that her and Stephanie made an agreement that Stephanie would relinquish her NXT Women's North American Championship in exchange for Stephanie to be able to pick her opponent at Stand and Deliver. Now, how this new champion will be crowned, there will be tournament qualifying type of matches every week on NXT. Whoever wins those matches will advance to a match at Stand and Deliver, which will be a 6-woman ladder match, and whoever wins that match will be crowned the new NXT Women's North American Champion. And honestly, this was all very bittersweet for me because you guys know how much I love Stephanie. You know she's my 2-belt queen. But, it can't always be sunshines and rainbows every day, right? So Stephanie did say something that really not only made my respect for her grow more, but also it gave me a bit of an insight as to why this decision might have been made. So Stephanie said, quote, NXT has given me a lot of opportunities, so I want to do the same for everyone here. She said she wants to push the division forward and not hold them back. And then I started thinking to myself, okay, was this their way of getting the belt off of Julia? Because I know she was slightly injured during that match at MSG against Stephanie when Stephanie became double champ. But so that could have been a reason too. But then I'm also like, okay, they haven't even talked about Julia in weeks since that match happened. So I'm like, okay, is this her official call up? I think it's slightly soon, but I mean, she's ready. Her and Stephanie are ready. I think they want to keep Stephanie down for a little bit longer. Why? I don't know. I think it's really hard when you have, for example, it's giving 2 Roman Reigns. When you have 2 top dogs on the same show, in the same locker room, it's very hard to have other people grow when you have 2 superstars. And so I think they had to pick one to get called up. And I think they wanted Stephanie to have that double champ moment at MSG in NXT. So, maybe Julia's time in NXT isn't done. Maybe she will return and that she'll continue doing stuff at NXT. But there's also the chance that she gets called up to main roster. I mean, we have WrestleMania coming up in 3 weeks, and we know the infamous Raw after Mania where people get called up. So you never know what can happen. But Jordynne Grace interrupts, and Jordynne comes out to say, now that Jada Parker is out of the mix, she took her out last week, she can finally get the match that she believes she deserves, which is an NXT Women's Championship match against Stephanie Vaquer at Stand and Deliver. Now, say her name and she appears, not Joe Hendry, Jada Parker. Jada Parker interrupts and said that, she had Stephanie beat, but Jordynne interfered and ruined it. Then Jordynne and Jada started going back and forth, to which Stephanie interjected and said, quote, I think you two need to figure this out. So later on in the show, it was announced that we will be getting Jordynne Grace versus Jada Parker next week. I believe it's a number 1 contenders match. I could be wrong, but regardless, I think it's going to cook. All right, let's move along into one of the matches for the tournament qualifying. Actually, no, it would be the ladder match qualifier, I guess. So we had Zarya versus Lash Legend. Now, this was a great match, okay? 2 heavy hitters fighting literally for their lives. It was crazy move after crazy move. And I think both of these women are super deserving for a shot at the NXT Women's North American Championship. And in the end, Zarya won and advanced to the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. And honestly, I'm very pissed because I feel Lash is 100 times more ready than Zarya. And so it really angers me that that Lash didn't get that opportunity. Even if she wasn't going to win the championship, it doesn't matter. I think she still should have been in that match. But hopefully her and Jakara have some sort of match to stand and deliver. The next match was Hank and Tank versus the NQCC. It was a pretty good match. I mean, there were some pretty good spots. I know everyone compares Mileborn to Randy Orton, but honestly, like, I agree. Like, I think he has potential to go far. I'm not saying he is Randy Orton before you guys come at me. I'm just saying physically, he gives off that energy. I think the way he moves in the ring is very similar to Randy. So, you know, I'm here for it. Whatever. In the end, though, the NQCC did win the match. Next, we had a Trick Williams segment. Now, this was really good. So Trick came out and he basically called out Obafemi, and he got no response last week. He said that Oba needs to watch out because he's the man around here. He sacrificed everything for this. He said he lost a brother, aka Carmelo Hayes, so that name drop was a gag and a half. And he said that he's just, he's basically just giving it his all. Then Javon Evans interrupts, and Javon told Trick that everything is making sense now. He said that this time last year, he was in Javon's spot. Javon said, unlike Trick, he didn't have to break out of anybody's shadow to become champion. Trick then replied and said that Javon can't hold the championship like he can, to which Javon said that Trick doesn't know who he is, and he isn't Trick Williams, he's Carmelo Hayes. Now, this is what I love about having such a historical storyline, or sorry, not historic storyline, such as Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, because this is stuff you can play off of in the future and in the long haul, and I love it. So I love that we got to hear some Carmelo Hayes in there. And then Javon said, everything Carmelo Hayes told you a year ago is all that you're telling me now, watering me down to make yourself feel better. So then the two of them start bickering back and forth, and Oba Femi comes out, our NXT champion. And then Javon told Oba that he was 1 second away from making history at Deadline to become the new NXT champion. Oba starts cooking Javon and Trick, but then our GM Ava interrupts, and she came out to announce that at Stand and Deliver, Oba Femi will be defending his title against Trick Williams and Javon Evans in a triple threat match. Now, this is going to be so good. I think this is a match that they definitely have been working towards. This is definitely, I don't know if it's going to be the main event. I'm sure it will be, but I am so excited for this match. But then there's no fun without some chaos. Dark State comes out, okay? Now, they came out to absolutely manhandle Oba and Javon. Then they had a moment with Trick Williams, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, it's happening. Trick is going to go with them. It's going to be this whole big thing. But then they beat up Trick. So all the rumors can finally get put to rest. Trick Williams is not with Dark State, obviously. I think if they were to be in cahoots with Trick, I think it would have happened right then and there. If they were cahoots with him, they would not have beat him up. And later on in the night, it did get announced that we are getting a 6-man tag team match next week. It's going to be Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Obafemi versus Dark State. So that should be really good as well. And honestly, I felt like Dark State looked really strong, really dominant, and I'm really happy with their booking so far. Next, we had another 6-woman ladder match at Stand and Deliver, qualifying match, whatever you want to call it. Kalani Jordan versus Roxanne Perez. Now, I thought the days of Roxanne in NXT were over. I was so excited not to have to look at her anymore. But I guess main roster didn't work out because you know what? She's not as good as everyone says she is. So, it was an okay match. I mean, you guys know I don't like Roxanne, so I won't talk about her at all. But Kalani Jordan did kind of eat that up. And she ate it up enough to the point where she won and is advancing to the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. I mean, she's so good. She has so much potential. And I can't wait to see her possibly win back the title. I mean, why not? All right, then we have our main event for the NXT North American Championship. Shawn Spears defending against Ricky Saints. Now, this was a fantastic match. Both of these guys are at the top of their class, and this was truly a banger. Not 1 second was I bored. It was so quick pace, definitely a PLE caliber match. And in the end, Ricky Saints won and is now the new NXT North American champion. I am so happy for Ricky, okay? He really, really deserves this. And I thought the match was just amazing. And it wasn't a fluky win or anything. Like, he really was aggressive and determined in that match. He did so many spears to Sean Spears, no pun intended, and the rest of the culling, it was so good, so well deserved. And then a funny thing that happened is right after, towards the end of the show, Ethan Page came out to attack Ricky Saints. I'm still getting used to it, from behind. And the closing shot of the show was Ethan Page raising the title high above Ricky Saints' head, and then the crowd. If you guys, if you watch NXT, you know the NXT crowd. I've been to NXT a plethora of times, and I know the NXT crowd very, very well. They are the most unhinged, most unserious group of people you will ever see in your entire life. And they gagged me to the fourth floor with this one. They started chanting right as the show went off air. I'm telling you, the last 6 seconds, they started loudly chanting, "Tony fumbled," as in Tony Khan, owner, CEO of AEW, obviously where Ethan Page, Ricky Saints came from. And I was cackling so hard on the floor. That was the last thing I expected for the crowd to chant. And I just thought it was absolutely hysterical. And you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's have a little giggle or two. I'm kidding. But now it's time for my overall thoughts. Overall, I thought it was a great show, truly. My match of the night was none other than the main event for the NXT North American Championship, Sean Spears versus Ricky Saints. I mean, we had two old friends revisiting each other and putting on a banger while they did it. It was so amazing to see Ricky become champion, and I honestly can't wait to see what this title reign looks like for him. And then my segment of the night was none other than the Trick Williams segment. I mean, we had appearances from Javon Evans, Obafemi, and even Dark State came out. So, I mean, got me so hyped for their match next week between all of them. And I would say I would rate the show about a 9 out of 10, which is really high. I'm being dead serious. The only two reasons it wasn't a 10 is because Roxanne Perez was on my screen and Lash Legend lost her match. So if Roxanne wasn't on my screen and Lash Legend would have won, it would have been a 10 out of 10 show. But you know what? Nothing's perfect. But we are getting so close to Stand and Deliver, and boy, is the ride getting so good week by week. I mean, Shawn Michaels is really cooking it up backstage in Gorilla. I mean, I am loving everything going on. I believe, what is it? It's April 2nd as I am recording this podcast episode. So let me see how many weeks until... 1, 2. Oh shoot, we have 2.5 weeks until Stand and Deliver / WrestleMania weekend, and I honestly just can't even wait. It's going to be so freaking good. I have so much content coming for you guys. It's not even funny. I'll give a quick little overview for you guys so you guys can lock in. Obviously, leading up to Mania Week, after Mania Week, so much huge stuff is going on. I have a very exciting episode coming out the week after WrestleMania that you guys are literally not going to want to miss. It is the first of its kind on our podcast here, Champion the Passion, and I cannot wait. It's going to be the start of a new era. It's going to be so freaking good. I cannot even believe it's going to happen. And as far as WrestleMania goes, I mean, you can expect so much. Obviously, I will be doing my regular recap episodes throughout the week for Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, so you can expect those. I will also do preview episodes or preview videos for Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania nights 1 and 2, and I'll do a recap of those afterwards as well. Also, on my YouTube channel, separate from my podcast, I will also be posting all my reactions to Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. There's still so much. And then for all of my sports-loving fans, the following weekend is the NFL Draft, and you guys know that I love sports so much. I love the NFL with all my heart, and so I really wanted to start incorporating more sports content. I know not everybody likes sports, but honestly, from what I've seen and the response I've gotten, pretty much 85% of you guys love sports just as much as me. So I'm still going to be creating wrestling content all the time, but I will start incorporating sports stuff. And so I will be making some content NFL draft weekend. I think I'm going to do a vlog of kind of just all my reactions from everybody the Giants draft, since you guys know I'm a New York Giants fan. We're really cooking it up right now. And but yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy of what you love, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.